some are loose.
Stop that, stop!
Oh, yes. Give me a hand, Simon.
John, I need some way home.
Liz!
No, I can't! Stop that, Sarah!
There's nothing underneath. Nothing.
Perhaps you meant further over then.
Where? Where? Simon, I warned you, if you're playing...
Over there.
Can't see anything.
Well, the ground's been turned over.
No.
Of course it has, plain as anything.
Hey!
No, she's not doing anything, just...
Was machen Sie? Come back! Come back! So, it was a trick again. I trusted you and you made a fool of me.
But Liz has only taken Sarah back to her mother, that's all.
And I shall run all over the village shouting the Germans are
No,
here.
no, she can't. You don't understand. We don't live in 1940.
Shut up! It's impossible to run after them now. So we'll have to send a signal to have them stopped at the double. Kommen Sie. Jawohl, Herr Kapitän.
Look, it's all right, I said. They can't get us here. I don't know. I'm frightened. Oh, well, never mind. You're going home to your mother now. What about him? Him? That boy, Simon. Simon? Oh, Simon will be all right.
Your collaborator returned to you, Commander.
What is this?
I understand, of course, that you must fight me because you believe I'm your enemy. But don't put him up to any more tricks, Commander, because I promise you I shan't fall for them anymore.
Good for you, Capitan. Well, what have you been up to?
Tried to escape.
Oh,
Listen, Sarah got away there.
they got away?
Yes.
Well, that's fantastic. They'll be able to alert the authorities.
Oh, I don't know. Gottfried's signalling for them to be picked up.
Oh, the signaling, yes, I've been watching that.
They've been receiving messages too.
Have they? Where from?
The village.
The village. I see. Yes, a whole series of contacts, I should say, between here and the coast, letting them know when it's safe to stay put and when they have to move. Very good organization.
But that means spies.
That's right.
We don't have spies in England, sir.
Oh, don't we just?
Anyway, why should the Germans come here? To find a little place like St. Oswald, I mean. Is there any special reason why they should come out?
Now, listen, for a kid who already knows more than he should, you ask some pretty stupid questions, don't you?
I only want
No,
to-
no, I'm sorry, Sonny. You just mind your own business. You may be on the side of the angels after all, but there are still some things about you I don't understand.
For goodness sake, Commander. You say they can't come to any harm, but what proof have we got? I mean, Jean saw that German lifting his gun to bash Liz's head in.
And what happened next, Mrs. Skinner?
I'm not sure. The picture blurred and I couldn't see.
But it all fits in, you see. You saw a hole in the fence and your daughter trying to get through. We know that the Germans got into the station by cutting a hole in the wire.
You don't care about any of us, do you, Mr. Trainer? My wife may have seen Liz being murdered by a German thug who no longer exists. And all you can do is sit here calm and collected as though the whole thing had been laid on for your benefit.
Your daughter can't come to any harm.
You keep saying that.
You'd swear it on a stack of Bibles, I suppose, and then apologize when you were proved wrong.
Now listen, Sarah. If we were to tell them what really happened to us, they wouldn't believe us. So you're just to say we were wandering up by the old potholes and that I found you there. Got it, Sarah? Not at the station. Do you understand?
Boy, it's young Sarah. So it's no good just standing here, Mr. Trainer. Something's got to be done.
I wish I knew what.
Yes, I was right, wasn't I? You're only interested for yourself. You don't care about the children, not a jot. Where were you, girl? Where were you?
Up the old potholes, she's found her wandering about.
Liz! Liz! Oh, Liz!
I'm all right, Mummy.
Sweetheart, we were so worried.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Trainer. She was up by the old potholes all the time. No mystery. Just lost.
Oh, nowhere near the old naval station.
Never.
Ah, well, it's good to know where one's been wrong. A man must always be prepared to face up to his past mistakes. Mustn't he, Bradley? Now, Liz, what really happened? Well, Skinner, feeling better now, it seems. Anything we can get you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, thank goodness you've come round. Anyway, you gave us a bit of a shock, I don't mind telling you. You were getting some food for the Germans, then you suddenly passed out.
Food? Food, yes.
Look, you did what you had to do while you were getting the food, I suppose. Well, it's perfectly safe to speak, Skinner. That job I gave you, it's completed. Ah.
He's recovered.
Yes, Gottfried. We thought of an ancient herbal remedy, and it seems to have worked.
What happened, man? What was it?
Happened? What do you mean? My head. Bright lights.
Bright lights?
Then it all went dark again. Where is this place, anyway? What am I doing here?
Oh, don't you worry, Skinner. You'll be yourself in a minute or two. You just had a bit of a knock.
Is he well enough to work?
To work?
It so happens I need a detail for a few minutes.
Well, I don't know.
On your feet, man. Let's have a look at you. Mm-hmm.
I'm fine now.
Splendid, splendid. And you can come too,
Me?
as a punishment for that trick you played on me.
Simon, speak to Skinner. Ask him if he did that job I told him to do.
I won't get a chance.
What's happening?
I'm just telling the boy to work with a will, Capitan. After all, time's running out, isn't it? Pressing on you hard, if the signaling is any indication.
Follow me, please. Now, I want this equipment to be completely dismantled. All this stuff will have to be moved. And remember, I'll just be outside.
The commander wants to know if you did what you were supposed to.
Who are you?
Me?
Yes.
Well, you know me, Simon. Simon who came with Liz. Only Liz got away.
Liz?
Yes, Liz Skinner. What's the matter with you? Can't you...
Can't I what?
Well, are you sure you're all right again, Mr. Skinner?
You all right now, Liz?
Yes, I'm just a bit confused.
It's a confusing situation.
I mean, life here is real, isn't it? We go to bed in the evening and we get up in the morning. Time moves on. But out there, it's kind of real, too. Only it hasn't stopped for 30 years. Just that bit of time going on over and over again.
The time the Germans took over the station and Daddy was hurt.
Yes. It's not just coincidence, is it, Mum? I mean, we come here and somehow I'm given the chance to find Daddy's memory after all these years and the trouble we've had. It's not been all that easy, has it, with Dad like that?
Bad for him, too, darling. More for him, this awful blank in his mind. He feels maimed, you know, like a man going through life without an arm or a leg.
But you knew before you were married.
I thought we'd manage. Money didn't seem to matter too much.
Did it afterwards?
Not to me. Daddy worried, but he feels crippled by whatever happened at the naval station.
Oh, there you are, Liz. For heaven's sake, where have you been? I was waiting to have breakfast with you.
Oh, I didn't want any breakfast, Daddy. I just came in here to talk to Mummy.
But you must eat something, child. Aren't you hungry?
Frank.
Oh, no, Jean, it's ridiculous. She's been through a nasty experience. She must eat something. She'll get ill if she doesn't.
Daddy, you don't remember anything about what happened at the station, do you?
No, Liz. Nothing.
Nothing. But you were different there. Like someone else.
Well, then, we'd better get down to sorting out the mysteries, hadn't we? I can sort out one or two of the problems. It wasn't opportune to speak before, but I think it might be necessary now.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there are serious matters to be discussed, Skinner. Grave decisions to be made. Most important of all, when Liz is going back into the time bubble.
What's that? What is it?
Yes. Yes, destroy it.
Destroy it?
Yes, important before they... No. Yes. The power. Stop the power. But... Yes.
Herr Kapitän.
Yeah? Oh.
What is it?
Never mind. Just destroy it.
Mr. Skinner. That's a ruby.
Nein, Fritz, nein, das ist nichts wert.
Come on, you better sit down.
No. Oh.
Now what happened?
Oh, he's too ill to work. You shouldn't have made
It
it.
seemed better, I thought.
Fritz!
Ja, Herr Kapitän? Das geht nicht. You two, this will do in here now.
So you think I really did dismantle this equipment in the secret cupboard for you?
Yes, you must have done. We found it in pieces later.
But what's so important about it, Mr. Train?
Well, the only relevant point, Mrs. Skinner, is that Gottfried couldn't possibly have got a look at it. But apart from the actual equipment itself, there were also certain plans, and these I hid behind the skirting board in my office.
Or did the Germans get a look at them?
Ah, I don't know.
But you must know. I mean, were they still there afterwards?
Yes?
Well, then they didn't get a look at them.
It's arguable. Gottfried could have discovered the plans and studied them and then deliberately left them there to make me think he hadn't found them.
Well, goodness me, it all seems a long time ago. What on earth does it matter now? I particularly don't see why it should involve Frank and me or Liz.
Well, it matters in this way, Mrs. Skinner. The line of research that we were following then has suddenly become very important again now. After the war, Gottfried was taken prisoner by the Russians. If he isn't dead, he's still in the Soviet Union working for the Russians. So I must find out what he discovered at the station in 1940.
But you can't find out. It's over and done with now.
It isn't over for Liz.
Look, Mr. Trainer, Liz can't go back. You know it's impossible.
Now, what are you afraid of? Your wife's in touch with the child. She has a rare gift.
What gift?
Surely you know by now the gift of telepathic contact. Perhaps you're refusing to come to terms with your own powers, Mrs. Skinner. You can communicate with Liz wherever she may be directly. You're worried, understandably. But what I wonder is Liz worried about?
Well, that doesn't come into it. You're not...
Oh, but my dear chap, it does come into it. Who else is more immediately involved? Well, Liz? You haven't said a word yet, have you? How do you feel about going back?
I must get Simon. I'd like to find out what happened to Daddy.
Herein! Danke. Sage den Graz, den Kapitän hier zu bringen.
Oh, not more pressure, Gottfried, more rush.
It's about those children who escaped, if you must know. Nobody in the village has heard of them.
Oh, and just who exactly in the village told you that, I wonder?
Bleiben Sie hier.
Jawohl, dann gebe ich den. Well, what more can I do to frustrate you?
Just one question, Commander. Are you going to tell me what your real work here is, or aren't you?
Ah, then your search has proved fruitless.
Answer me! Will you say?
My dear chap, I told you the moment you arrived you've got the wrong address.
No.
You're most insistent.
I have the right to be. Not only because our information tells us otherwise, but because I have a better opinion of you as a scientist. Oh, come, trainer. This radar experimentation outside, it's primitive. There's got to be something else. And I intend to know.
Why?
Why?
Yes, it's a fair question. According to you, the war doesn't exactly fill you with joy, yet here you are behaving like a dedicated soldier of the Third Reich.
The war. Would you believe me if I were to tell you that the war has nothing much to do with my coming here? No. Because you've listened to the propaganda. Oh, trainer, you don't understand. There are many of us Germans who don't agree with the war aims, who don't even support Hitler.
But you serve him?
No. We serve Germany. Our country was betrayed at Versailles, Commander. Germany must be great again, but not through conquest as is happening now. Through achievement, industry, art, science.
I see. So what you're asking me to do is to overlook for the moment the fact that your country is overrunning France and Poland and is persecuting the Jews and just help you to build a better Germany.
But don't you understand? All these things will stop when Hitler falls.
When Hitler falls?
It's always a possibility. Do you believe me?
My dear Gottfried, your splendid naivety is the most alarming thing about you. I suspect you more than ever.
Then you mean I must use force to get what I want from you?
Force?
I must know, Commander. Any advance in research, anything new makes my position and that of my friends in Germany more secure. Graz. What the? Graz is a loyal Nazi commander, trainer. He understands very well how to deal with people who won't speak.
Oh, Gottfried, you can't be serious.
I have no choice.
You've every choice in the world. You, a reasonable man, a scientist, you can't. Well, Liz, how's it done then?
Mr. Trainer, I'm still not altogether sure.
Oh, please,
that we
Mrs.
should-
Skinner, we've agreed. I need to know about those papers hidden in my office. And there's still Simon to be thought about, too. We daren't delay any longer.
You still assure me that she can't be hurt.
The time bubble, as you called it, is an illusion. Children like Liz and Simon are sensitive to the energy of the past, but it can never claim them. They still belong to our time.
Oh, yes, I suppose so.
Liz, sweetheart, you don't have to go if you don't want to. You know that, don't you?
Yes, Daddy.
So?
I want to go.
Now then, the mechanics.
Well, there's a kind of a barrier just beyond the field. You can't see it, but it's there. Then you have to find the hole to get through.
Right. And you know what you've got to do for me, don't you?
find out if the Germans have seen the papers that you hid in your office.
That's the start. Well, off you go then.
Liz?
Nein! Nein! Halt! I'm sorry, Commander. I can't do it this way.
You're sorry, don't you think I feel?
I'm not an animal. I'm not a savage. Der Strick. I am sorry. It was a mistake. I apologize humbly. You must tell me what I want to know without any of this.
Haven't you got the message yet, Gottfried? I'm not telling you anything.
But I must know.
And I must hold my tongue. We're at war, Capitan. War, whether you like it or not. Why don't you get that into your head and stop dreaming? Well, what happens now?
You'll be held prisoner again.
To no purpose. You'll never get a syllable out of me.
Gehen Sie hinein, warten Sie auf mich.
Jawohl, Herr Kapitän.
Can't you understand? You're being a fool. If you'd only help me, it would help end the war. A new government in Germany would mean no more fighting. Peace.
Gottfried, I feel sorry for you.
Sorry for me.
You're just an inoffensive old boffin, aren't you? A dreamer. The realities of war are a bit too tough for you, aren't they? What's the matter?
I don't know. I can't seem to...
No, Mrs. Skinner.
Oh, for goodness sake, she's upset. Can't you see that? I was an idiot to give my consent. It's all so stupid. Liz! Liz, dear. Come along now. That's enough. We're going home now.
But, Mummy,
Mrs. Skinner, she must go back. You know that as well as I do.
The child's afraid. She can't be forced into something that frightens her.
No, Mummy, I'm not frightened. But I can't find the barrier.
What?
I can't, honestly. It was just here where we're standing. But now it isn't anymore. It's gone.
Gone?
Oh, Daddy, it's gone. I can't go back. Don't you understand? I'll never be able to find out what happened to you now. The barrier's vanished. Vanished.